YouTube. Today I'm putting in the WYze Home Monitoring System. What is the WYze Home Monitoring System? Well, it's an alarm system that is monitored and dispatches emergency services as needed. Like most WYze products, it is very affordable and it costs $5 a month. Same price as a footlong. In typical WYze fashion, if you go ahead and pay the $5 a month for the year up front, pay the $60 up front, they will include a core starter package of equipment, and that's what we've got here. It's the keypad, the sense base unit, some door switches, and a motion sensor. All that is included free. So for $60, you get a year of monitoring and you get the equipment for free. So that's a pretty good deal. As you can see here, it's a $50 value on the equipment and $5 a month. I'm going to be installing this in a weekend vacation home. Be a good chance to try out the equipment, see how it works. Let's go ahead and look in the box and see what's included. And for the record, this is not a sponsored video. I bought this with my own money because I'm a fan of WYze products, and this is my unbiased opinion. The first thing out of the box is the Sense Hub. This is essentially the base station for the system. It's where the speaker is where the alarm is, and it acts as the central hub for receiving the inputs from the motion sensors and from the door switches. You get some WYze alarm stickers. You get an instruction manual included in the box there. All of the devices, the motion sensor and the door switches, have double stick tape mounted to them, but you also get some mounting hardware here, some anchors and screws if you want to attach it more permanently. You get a motion sensor in the box. You also get two entry sensors. These are for doors or cabinets or windows, anything you want to monitor its opening and closing. And you get the keypad, which is the portion of the system where you can enter the code to arm and disarm it when you're leaving or when you're arriving at home. That's what's in the kit, and all of that hardware is free if you buy the 1-year monitoring plan. And you get a WYze back sticker if you're one of the people who backed it when it was introduced. Also included in the box are the USB power cable and the Ethernet cable for connecting to your home modem. Unlike Apple devices, power adapters are included with the WYze Home Monitoring System, so you don't have to buy them separately or use an old one that you happen to already have. Well, this is the basic kit. You can expand this with more motion sensors, more entry sensors, and if you have WYze cameras, you can also use those with the WYze Home Monitoring System. It's expandable to however much expansion you need to cover your home properly and securely. The setup starts with the Sense Hub, and like any other WYze product, if you've set them up before, the software will walk you through each of the steps that you need to perform to configure the devices. The instructions say it'll take about 40 minutes. In practice, it actually only took me maybe 15 minutes to do the entire system. There's really not a lot to it, but they give you enough time to walk through it slowly so that nobody feels overwhelmed. Obviously, starting with the hub makes sense because after the hub is set up, you'll add each of the door sensors and motion sensors and keypads to that hub. Once the hub is ready to be connected to the internet, you can either hook it into your modem with a wire or an Ethernet cable, or you can actually hook it up wirelessly. If you do it wirelessly, it only supports the 2.4 gigahertz connection, much like many other home automation products. The software configures the hub, and after a few moments, the hub will be connected and you're ready to add any of the sensor devices or the keypad devices that you want to add to your home alarm system. I already had ADT alarm system installed at this home, and so you'll see to the left of the keypad here is the speaker and keypad for the existing home alarm system. The WYze system is quite a bit more affordable than the ADT system, and assuming that this system continues to work as well as it has in my testing, then I will be replacing that ADT system. There are a few cons to the WYze system. It doesn't have a cellular backup like the ADT does, and a few other uh, nice to have features. But overall, the basics are covered very well by the WYze system. The process is pretty much the same for any of the devices or sensors that you add. You press and hold the reset button until the light flashes, and then the hub will recognize the device and add it. Here I'm adding the keyboard, and you can see that it's uh, software driven. It steps you through each step in the process, and it's relatively straightforward. And it's the same process for each of the devices. You just go through and complete this step for each sensor or device. Name it, add it to your system. If you have basic phone literacy, then you won't find this process challenging at all. I won't torture you with showing each one of the setup process for each device, but for example, here to compare it to the keyboard, the motion sensor works exactly the same way. You put it where you want it. You hold the reset button until the light flashes. You're going to name it and add it to your system. So it's just a cookie cutter repeat process until you get all the windows and doors and keypads configured where you want them and how you want them, and then your system is ready for the final step, which is configuration of the settings and preferences. These devices all use either AA or AAA batteries, and WYze claims on their website that these batteries should last for a year and a half, 18 months with normal use. There's a battery backup in the hub, and of course, the motion sensor, the door sensors, and the keypad are all battery powered as well. And if the batteries last for 18 months, then it won't really be a problem to change those out every every year and a half. As I mentioned, the most time consuming part of this process is the final step, and that's the configuration of the settings and preferences. This is where you define the name of your home, your location, the home address, the various modes that the alarm can use, home and away, and you can actually set up what that means, and if a PIN code is required to change the mode, and if a PIN code is required to change some of the definitions within the configuration, so it is as secure as you want to make it. And the system will step you through all these screens and choosing your safe word and your PIN code. And all of that information is designed to help you communicate with Noonlight, the monitoring company, effectively. Well, that's my unboxing and setup of the WYze Home Monitoring System. Overall, it is a really great value. I think it's well worth the $5 a month for the monitoring and the equipment that you receive. There is one major limitation, and that is if the system loses its internet connection, it is unable to function. My existing ADT system, if it loses the phone line, it has a cellular backup built in so that it can still reach out to the monitoring center and alert them to a emergency situation. The WYze system doesn't have that covered right now. I suspect they will add an option for this in the future. And really, this is not just a limitation of the WYze system. If you have a internet system, if you have a router that can do automatic failover, like I have here at the house, then if the main connection goes out, it'll switch over to a LTE connection. And if you have that kind of setup, then you're really not limited by this restriction. But that is one thing to keep in mind. If your internet connectivity goes out, this system is limited in what it can do right now. But for the price and for the options and for the ease of installation and configuration, this system, like many WYze products, is hard to beat. I recommend it. I'm using it. I've had no problems with it. I have found it to be very reliable, no false alarms. No false alarms yet. I've been using it for about a month, and it's been rock solid. So, like many Wyze products, great value. Not a sponsored video. I'm just a fan of inexpensive electronic devices that give you a lot of options and a lot of flexibility. If you found that information interesting or useful, and I hope you did, how about hitting that like button and maybe even click the subscribe button? I'd appreciate that. It helps the channel out, lets YouTube know they should share this video with other people who might be interested in the same kinds of topics. I have a number of videos on home repair, home automation, technology. Hopefully, one of these days, I'll have some investing videos posted. But if you find those things interesting, tune into the channel and see what you think. And if you find it interesting, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Take care.
System absorbing.